Alright, hey guys, I'm getting ready to do a deck tech video on my Karador Ghost Chieftain EDH deck. I have a little proxy here, but let's just get that off to the side. What Karador does is, he costs 1 less to cast for each creature card in your graveyard. He originally costs 8, but that's fine, you're going to have a lot of creatures. You don't cast him most of the time in games, but sometimes he's relevant. I'm running 5 basic forests. I am running 3 basic plains and 3 basic swamps. Command tower, nothing to say about that. Golgari Guild Gate, I needed a little more green-black, that's the only guild gate. Mainly because I have these. The Painlands for Brushland and Caves of Coliosis for Orzhov and Selesnya. Next I have all 3 bounce lands. They're extremely efficient with Garruk, which I have in the deck, I'll show you later. Evolving Wilds, because I don't have fetch lands, the good ones yet. Temple of False God helps ramp easily. All 3 Shocklands, just good fixing. Same with the next card, Tainted Wood and Tainted Field, just good fixing. Great Pelt Refuge, the 1 life most of the time isn't very relevant, but some Petal Grove also is in here. Helps fix mana. Next we have some utility lands. We have Thespian Stage. It adds 1 generic, and you can pay 2, tap, becomes a copy of any land on the battlefield, and gains this ability, so you can change it around for whatever you need. Next I have a Grim Backwoods to sacrifice creatures you don't need, or so if they're going to exile a big fatty of yours, then you can just sack it and draw a card and reanimate it later. Tranquil Thicket, it just cycles, hopes then. Now we get into the fatties. Avacyn, Angel of Hope, 5 colorless and 3 white for a legendary angel. Flying, vigilance, makes all your stuff indestructible. Really good. Let me adjust the camera real quick. There we go. Next we have Iona. It shuts down monocolored decks, and it's a 7/7 flying beater. Next we have Chancellor of the Annex. Whoops. This card can help shut down some, like the control decks. It helps them, it counters less of your stuff, it counters more of their stuff, and sometimes you reveal it, people forget about it, and their first turn Soul Ring goes bye-bye. Sun Titan. It helps get back some of the utility stuff. I'll show you later in the video. Does not want to stay up, sorry guys. Luminate Primordial, it is removal on a fatty. Avenger of Zendikar, because it makes a lot of plant tokens. All of the plant tokens. Sylvan Primordial, it ramps you a lot, and it blows up threats on the board. Terracodon, it also blows up threats on the board. Doesn't ramp you, but it's still a big 9/9. Necropolis Regent. It's a 6/5 flyer, 3 colorless, 3 black, and whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, put that many +1/+1 counters on it. This is basically in here just because if your opponent doesn't have an answer, you basically win. Reaper from the Abyss. It's removal on a 6/6 flying fatty. Shieldred, Whispering One. It's a fatty, it's removal, and it's reanimation. It's really efficient. Really good. Bloodgift Demon, just to get some extra card draw, and it's a fatty. Gotta love the fatties. Runescar Demon, tutor on a stick, tutor on a fatty. Lord of the Void. That's a 7/7 flying When it deals damage to a player, exile top 7 cards of their library, and then you get a creature card from it. So it can steal really big dudes, it can steal utility dudes, it can just steal a combo piece, whatever you need. Next is Sepulchral Primordial. It steals stuff from other people's graves, and it's a fatty. Micaeus, this is part of a combo with Triskelion. If you don't understand, Triskelion is a 1/1. Whoops, sorry. Is a 1/1, and it enters with 3 counters on it. You can remove a counter to deal 1 damage to target creature or player. And Micaeus is a zombie. Whenever Intimidate, whenever a human deals damage to you, destroy it. Other non-human creatures you control get +1/+1 and have Undying. So then you remove all the counters from Triskelion while pinging itself. You remove 1 counter, ping you. Remove 2 counters, ping itself twice, it dies, comes back. Rinse and repeat. Wormcoil Engine, a fatty. Death Touch, lifelink. Having this die and come back is really good. Angel of Despair is a beast within, they don't get the token, and you get a fatty. It's nice. Ghost Dad, Obsidian Ghost Town Council, enters the battlefield, gain 2, lose 2, and at the beginning of your next end step, then you can exile him and return him to the battlefield next upkeep. Your next upkeep. Sigarda, Host of Herons, flying hexproof. You cannot sacrifice creatures if your opponent is forcing you to. Teneb, the Harvester, flying. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you may pay 2 in a black. If you do, you get to reanimate something from any graveyard. This is a Seedborn Muse. It is Russian. It's a 2/4 for 5 that untaps all your permanents on each other untap. And we're into the utility creatures. Next we have Jared Golgari Lichlord. Gets +1/+1 for each creature in graveyard, which most of the time is going to be irrelevant. You're using him for his sack effect. You can sacrifice another creature. Each opponent loses life equal to its toughness or power. Sacrifice a swamp and a forest. Return Jared from your grave to hand. E-Witness. It gets back something from the graveyard you can reuse that you can't reanimate. Oracle of Moldiah ramps you. Play additional lands. Same with Solemn Simulacrum, and when it dies you get to draw a card. We're into some mana fixing and ramp. Lands you control have tap, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. Since this is a 3-color deck and I don't have fetches or duels or anything like that yet, this is very useful. Gilded Lotus, 5 mana artifact, tap, add 3 mana of any color. It's really good. Soul Ring, nothing to be said there. Kadama's Reach, search for 2 basics, 1 hand, 1 play, tapped. It's just really good ramp. Darksteel Ingot, ramp that they can't get rid of easily. We're into tutors. Demonic Tutor, 2 mana, search for something. Really good. Increasing Ambition, search for a card, put it in your hand. If you flashback it for 8, then you get to search for 2 cards. Diabolic Tutor, it's Demonic Tutor, but you have to pay double. Jared's Orders, this is a really good tutor for the deck. Search your library for 2 creature cards, reveal them, 1 into your hand and 1 into the graveyard. This is really good because then you're just going to reanimate a fatty, and you can get a utility card from that in your hand. Worldly Tutor, you search your library for a creature card and reveal that card to all players, put it on top of your library. Now we have 4 walkers in the deck. First we have Soren Markov. This puts someone to 10 and puts them on a clock. In this deck, if you can't kill creatures and I get off a Soren, you pretty much die. Next we have Garruk Wildspeaker. I have this for the synergy with the 4 lands that tap for 2, and the overrun can kill people as well. Liliana Vess, it can tutor. You can actually target yourself to discard cards to reanimate. And her ultimate is take all creatures from all graveyards and put them onto the battlefield. Vraska the Unseen, this blows up stuff, and I actually have one with her ultimate before. Put 3 1/1 Black Assassins on the battlefield, where when this creature deals combat damage to a player, that player loses the game. Debtor's Knell. We're into the removal. Not the removal, sorry. The reanimation. I don't run that much reanimation, simply because you don't really need it for the deck to work, because there's other ways to cheat out fatties, which you'll see later. At the beginning of your upkeep, put target creature card in a graveyard into play under your control. Reanimate. I run this so it's possible to get a turn 2 Avacyn or Iona or other really big fatty. Dance of the Dead. This is in for the same reason, except it's turn 3. Unburial Rites. It's a reanimation spell you can cast twice. Animate Dead is in there for the same reason as Dance of the Dead. Rise of the Dark Realms. It's Liliana Vess's ultimate. If you get it off, you pretty much win. Twilight's Call is almost as good. You can cast it as an instant for 2 more mana. Each player returns all creature cards from his or her graveyard onto the battlefield. This isn't always going to be amazing, but most of the time you're going to be the one who benefits the most. Same with Living Death, except this switches graveyard and battlefield, to sum it up. And most of the time this wipes other people's fields, but then you have a big army. So if you cast this, most of the time you win, if there are no answers. Now we have some card draw and utility for Phyrexian Arena. At the beginning of your upkeep, draw 1, lose 1. Sanguine Bond and Exquisite Blood is just in here for the infinite combo. Whenever you gain life, someone loses life. Whenever you lose life, whenever an opponent loses life, you gain life. That's why that's in there. And Tooth and Nail. You only ever entwine this. You pay 9 mana, and 90% of the time you go in for Triskelion and Midcaeus and win right there. Just with the infinite combo. Sylvan Library. It's early card draw. Card advantage. Same with Sensatus Divining Top. Not necessarily card advantage, but you can see what's coming, make sure you get land, etc. Quicksilver Amulet is another way to cheat out guys without it being countered. I have no idea how many times I put in a fatty and someone tried to counter it. Skull Clamp, this is for putting on dudes to draw cards. Lightning Greaves, to give a big fatty shroud and haste, so then you can smash an opponent. Birthing Pod, so you can sack your smaller dudes like Solemn Simulacrum and go in for a bigger thing that's more of a threat. Isochron Scepter, so you can use some of the removal spells and such multiple times. Now we have removal. We have Condemned to tuck opponent generals. Krosan Grip, destroy target artifact or enchantment with split second. Putrefy, destroy target artifact or creature, it can't be regenerated. Path to Exile, remove target creature from the game. Its controller may search his library for a basic land card and put that land into play tapped. Swords to Plowshares, remove target creature from the game. Its controller gains life equal to its power. Beast Within, destroy target permanent. Its controller puts a 3/3 beast token onto the battlefield. We have a few board wipes. We have Merciless Eviction. Choose one. Exile all artifacts, creatures, enchantments, or planeswalkers. Lastly, we have Life's Finale. Destroy all creatures, then search target opponent's library for up to 3 creature cards and put them into his or her graveyard. Then that player shuffles his or her library. Unfortunately, it does say opponent, so you cannot target yourself, which is why I'm considering taking it out of the deck. And that's it. Hope you guys like it. If you have suggestions, feel free to keep them in the comments below, and I'll see you guys later.